your hand down. I want you to know and understand that we're going to review with you orally, verbally, your rights and constitutional protections real quick. They will be recorded by our certified court reporter, Ms. Kayleen Rivera. Then we're going to go over the actual written documents, and I will ask you questions about those. The first right you have is the right to remain silent. That means you don't have to make any kind of statement. You don't have to answer questions. You don't have to submit paperwork that has your signature, especially papers that admit or confess to wrongdoing. You understand you have the right to remain silent. Well, she was there. Ms. Ramos Espinosa, did you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I asked you a question. Do you know and understand you have the right to remain silent?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You also have the right to a jury trial. That means you and your attorney and the state's attorneys could select 6 people from a random jury pool to hear the evidence, look at the testimony and the witnesses, including yourself, and decide whether you're guilty or not guilty. That's the right to a jury trial. You understand you have that right?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to confront witnesses. That's big words for you have the right to face any witness or accuser that would be involved in your trial. You could question, challenge, or cross-examine anyone who testifies. That's the right to confront witnesses. Do you understand you have that right?
Yes, sir.
There's a right to appeal. That right, you have to follow the rules, the paperwork, and the time limits. And you, yourself, your attorney, herself, or the two of you combined could demand that a higher court review the official record, the testimony, the evidence, everything in this case, for whatever challenge you wanted to make. That's called the right to appeal. You understand you have that right?
Yes, sir.
There's also another right that both you and the state have individually, the right to a open court, public courtroom hearing. That right is not being allowed right now because of the COVID pandemic. You have been made aware of that, and I believe we'll come to a document that says that you agree to video conferencing instead of the open public courtroom. You understand you have the right to an open public courtroom proceeding.
Yes, sir.
These rights that I've just reminded you of, those rights, you give them all up when you enter a plea. You understand that? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you understand what I asked you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, we've talked about this verbally. It is on the record. I am now showing you documents. The documents, almost every one of them, will have what I call identifying information at the top. In this particular case, in your case, the court number is 657466. That's the case number in this court, the state of Texas versus Maria Guadalupe Ramos Espinosa, in County Court of Law number 5, Bexar County, Texas. That basic information will be repeated on every different document that's brought to you, with perhaps one exception. The title of the document is going to be in all capitals, bold print. This one is titled State's Consent to Video Conference. This one says that the state agrees to do this by video conference instead of demanding their right to have this in open public courtroom. Do you see and understand that document?
Yes, sir.
Right. The next one is called a discovery acknowledgement. That has, again, the identifying information at the top. The title of this one is, as I mentioned, discovery acknowledgement. There is a particular law. You can see the name of it right there, Article 39.14 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. This particular law requires the state in this proceeding to give you access, acknowledgement of all the evidence, relevant evidence and information, documents, receipts, video, whatever's involved, so that you and your attorney can make a fully informed and intelligent decision concerning this case. It is signed by your attorney and the state's attorney. They're saying and declaring that that law has been obeyed. Now the document, another document is before you. This one is where you consent to video conference. Do you consent to this being done by video conference?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you signed it, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, now you're being shown another document. This one is titled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights in Court's Admonitions. It starts off with 3 separate sentences. The one at the top says that you don't need me to read everything to you, the charging or the accusing papers. The second one says, you know and understand you were charged with driving while intoxicated. And then the third sentence says, what? Do you see that? In
Yes,
this
sir.
cause, what does it say?
On the third one,
Yes, ma'am. In this
in
cause,
in this cause, I am informed by the court as following.
no, ma'am. The third sentence, it starts off with, in this cause, I hereby enter.
Okay. In this cause, I hereby enter a plea of no constitute the following agent.
The following allegations: obstruction of a highway and dash intoxication. Now, the rest of this document is divided into 15 numbered sections. Ms. Pollock, did you personally, as an officer of the court, review this document carefully with your client?
I have gone over all of her constitutional rights with her, telling her what she can do under the Constitution and explain the effects of waiving those rights.
Okay, Ms. Pollock, this particular document has 15 different sections or paragraphs in some cases. Is it your statement to me as an officer of the court that she's fully aware of this information here?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Espinosa,
Yes, sir.
this document has a lot of information. The one thing it says is that you can be punished for obstruction with a fine of $0 to $2,000 and jail from 0 to 180 days in jail. Did you see and understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. One thing also, where were you born, ma'am?
I was born in Mexico.
All right. Are you at this time a U.S. citizen?
Excuse me?
Are you at this time a U.S. citizen?
No, sir.
Okay. Ms. Pollock, you familiar with the requirements of Padilla versus Kentucky?
Yes, Your Honor. May I go into a breakout room with my client?
Yes, ma'am, you may. Patricia, if you will place them in breakout. Meantime, Mr. Edelman.